Bueno, así comenzaremos hoy esta conversación con Jack Everitt. Muchas gracias a las personas que ya nos acompañan. Este es un nuevo encuentro de Hablemos de Bitcoin, que como saben es un espacio de difusión que hemos creado en Satoshi en Venezuela, bueno, para mantenernos activos incluso en medio de la pandemia. Hoy me acompaña, como ven aquí, Jack Everitt de THNDR Games. Él es angloparlante, entonces yo le voy a estar haciendo preguntas y comentando con él en inglés y traduciré las ideas centrales de lo que nos cuente, que principalmente es sobre los juegos y cómo es esa posibilidad de ganar BTC jugando. Antes de partir, vamos a tener un breve mensaje de nuestros sponsors, que como saben son leen.io y Paxful.
Satoshi en Venezuela es patrocinado por Leden, una suite de servicios que te ayudan a ahorrar y ganar más Bitcoin y dólares digitales. Nuestros productos te permiten ganar intereses, pedir créditos en dólares y obtener créditos para comprar más Bitcoin. Nuestras cuentas de ahorro en Bitcoin y dólares USDC, en colaboración con Genesis, ofrecen las mejores tasas de interés en el mercado, trabajando con la institución más establecida y con mayor transparencia de la industria. Puedes comenzar a ganar el 6,5% anual en tu Bitcoin y el 10% anual en tu USDC desde ya, y mantendremos estas tasas por el resto del año. Nuestro servicio B2X, exclusivamente en Lend, te permite utilizar el Bitcoin que ya tienes para obtener un crédito en dólares y comprar el mismo monto de Bitcoin, utilizando un crédito respaldado por Bitcoin para duplicar el monto de Bitcoin que posees. Y si necesitas dólares, pero no quieres vender tus Bitcoin, puedes seguir siendo el dueño de tus Bitcoin y obtener un crédito en dólares en 24 horas. ¿Quieres ponerle alas a tus Satoshis? Aprende más en leven.io.
Y ahora un mensaje de Paxful, que es un mercado P2P para comprar
Hola,
Bitcoin.
mi nombre es Isabel Quintero y hoy les voy a contar cómo envío dinero usando Paxful. Como estoy en Colombia, voy a la página de Paxful y busco comprar Bitcoin con pesos colombianos. Generalmente uso transferencia bancaria, pero también puedo utilizar otras formas de pago como Nequi, PayPal y hasta tarjetas de regalo. Si tengo prisa en enviar el dinero, busco una oferta de compra de Bitcoin en Venezuela. De lo contrario, creo una oferta de venta de Bitcoin y espero por un comprador que esté interesado. Pido entonces al comprador que haga el pago en mi cuenta bancaria en Venezuela. Todo eso pasa en pocos minutos, con seguridad y rapidez. Ni hablar del costo, que es mucho más barato que otras formas de envío. En algunas situaciones hasta tengo ganancias. Así que ya, logro transferir dinero para quien, dónde y cuando quiera usando Paxful. Y sí, tú también puedes hacer lo mismo. ¡Feliz remesa!
Bueno, y aprovechar también este momento publicitario para recordarles que se suscriban al canal de Satoshi en Venezuela, donde ocurre la magia actualmente. Ya después de haber dejado atrás el momento publicitario, haber dejado atrás el momento musical, con música de Luis Esparragosa, quien es escritor de Criptonoticias y también productor musical, vamos a ponernos la gorra de Bitcoin para conversar con Jack. Thanks a lot for being here, Jack, and thanks a lot for your patience since I have a little troubles with my connection. But, well, we are here to talk about Bitcoin and to talk about games and Lightning Network. But before that, I want to know about when did you get involved in Bitcoin? And about the moment when you decided that you want to work with this technology or build something around or over it. And thanks a lot for being here.
No problem. Yeah, so I first heard about Bitcoin in around 2011. And I can't even remember where I heard about it. I think it must have been a news report or something, because around 2011 there was a big spike in price. So I read about it, and I didn't do too much apart from just read about the concept. And then I think it was 2013 when I first downloaded the Bitcoin Core app, and I tried to do some mining. And I remember the first time I downloaded the blockchain, it was 8 gigabytes, and I thought then that was a crazy big, and I thought, oh, how's anyone going to use this? So they've got to download 8 gigabytes, but obviously you can. So yeah, I kind of followed it from 2013, but I wasn't really involved very much. I saw some applications in gaming, but it was just too hard to use, really. And it wasn't till I'd say October last year, in 2019, when I decided to actually try and make a games business based on Bitcoin, because the Lightning Network had a lot of advantages for games, and you could do a lot of things you couldn't do before without it. So I started up Thunder Games, and Thunder is English for like thunderbolts, like lightning. So it's the word thunder with no vowels. Yes, I've just been experimenting with Bitcoin Bounce and trying to see if we can have a good use case in games with the Lightning Network, basically.
Okay, perfect. I will translate a little about this answer. Yo le pregunto a Jack sobre su primera interacción con Bitcoin, cuándo descubre Bitcoin, cuándo se da cuenta que le interesa desarrollar sobre Bitcoin. Entonces nos dice que la primera vez escuchó sobre Bitcoin en 2011, pero que no le hizo tanto caso, sobre todo porque era una noticia sobre el precio, entonces como que no le prestó tanta atención. Pero después en 2013, que vuelve a tener noticias sobre la criptomoneda creada por Satoshi Nakamoto, ahí sí se interesa lo suficiente como para descargarse Bitcoin Core, que dice que le sorprendió el tamaño que ocupaba en el disco duro en ese momento. Luego nos dice que a pesar de que estaba ya involucrado en la industria de los juegos, era un poco difícil poder utilizar Bitcoin para esos fines como tal, pero que a pesar de eso, ya en 2018, ya existiendo Lightning Network, decide avanzar, pues, y en este caso crear Thunder, no es THNDR, sino es Thunder sin vocales, que, bueno, se traduciría como trueno, que, bueno, claro, está relacionado con Lightning Network y que es la casa matriz de Bitcoin Bounce, que es el juego que acompañaba por detrás el flyer de este encuentro con Jack. Ahora que ya sabemos un poco de dónde viene y cómo fue que terminó interesándose en hacer cosas con Bitcoin, bueno, vamos a preguntar por su background, por qué estaba haciendo antes de esto como tal. Well, now that I know how did you get involved in Bitcoin, maybe we can go a little back to see which is your background, what were you doing, and how did you decide to combine that, or maybe a step aside that to get involved in Bitcoin?
Yeah, okay, so my first ever, my backstory is quite interesting, because my first ever job was doing special effects software for films, and the first piece of software I made was lightning bolts. So you could add lightning bolts to your film. So that's quite ironic that now I'm working with lightning. And then from that special effects software, and it was around 2010, the iPhone App Store came out. So I made a lightning bolt app so you could touch the screen with, and lightning bolts would come out your fingers. And that app actually went to #2 in the chart. So it was like a viral app. And it meant that I could quit my original job and just concentrate on making apps and games for the App Store. So from 2010 to now, I've been doing mobile games and mobile apps, basically just to, I've got a small little company that does client apps for clients as well. And yeah, that really transitioned me well to try out the Bitcoin games, because I know all about, I've done 10 years of the App Store and games on the App Store. And I have a lot of experience with Lightning, because my first ever jobs was doing special effects software with lightning bolts. So it's all clicked.
Okay, perfect. I was promoted the new karma of the digital era. I will translate this idea. Yo le preguntaba exactamente cuál era su background y tal. Nos dice que la historia es bastante curiosa porque originalmente su primer empleo fue haciendo efectos especiales para películas. Pero en un punto de esa carrera hizo una aplicación, una forma de añadir truenos, añadir rayos a las películas, y esa utilidad, esa herramienta se volvió viral de manera que le permitió a Jack independizarse, y bueno, desde 2010 ha estado haciendo aplicaciones similares, siempre relacionadas con rayos, con juegos, con este tipo de cosas, y dice que el paso hacia Bitcoin estaba casi cantado porque, bueno, le interesa mucho lo que se puede hacer, lo que se puede experimentar con eso, y más aún le ha emocionado la idea de Lightning, también relacionado como un pequeño guiño a ese primer trabajo. Entonces, bueno, por allí la idea de qué estaba haciendo antes. Entonces ahora vamos a preguntarle directamente sobre Thunder, a ver cómo está relacionado con Bitcoin. Well, now we can move on Thunder and how it is related to Bitcoin, because you said that you been involved in Bitcoin, like running a node since 2013, but why to launch it 5 years later, and how it is related to these different phases that you have involved in your career?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I didn't do anything with Bitcoin until now, because I've always found it I don't like QR codes, and I don't like having to copy and paste invoices or public keys. So I just felt that putting any Bitcoin in a game would just involve too much for the user to learn. So when you make a game, you want the game to be as easy to learn as possible and as fun straight away. Otherwise, the players will just delete your game and not play it. They have to actually learn how something works. So I wasn't really interested in putting Bitcoin in games until the user experience got better. And when the Lightning Network came out, that did fix a few user experience problems. Namely, you could have the payments were settled nearly instantly, whereas on the blockchain it takes you need to wait for 6 confirmations to be safe, and the fees obviously are really low, so you can give people small prizes in the game rather than having to just have one big prize. So that makes it more interesting. But I didn't actually still didn't really like the fact that the Lightning Network still had these invoices that you had to copy and paste, and they were very, very long. The I think, I don't know how many characters they are on average, but there's like 200 characters or something. And then there's these guys developing a protocol called LNURL, which a lot of Lightning Network wallets support and a lot of websites use. So I experimented with that, and that actually completely removes the need for copying and pasting invoices. And also on mobile phones, you don't need to even have QR codes. You can send the payment information directly between the wallet and the game or app. So when I first put that into Bitcoin Bounce, then I realized that it was going to be, the user experience was very good now. So it was so much easier to cash out from a service, and you didn't have to learn how Bitcoin works. You just could download a wallet and cash out some winnings from the game. So there's very little, like I find that people, when they play Bitcoin Bounce and they're new to Lightning, they've already managed to cash out their Bitcoin and got a wallet before they even understand what is happening. So they get their Bitcoin and then they have to then they sort of start figuring it out. So it means, like I said before, the games can just concentrate on being a game, and there's no learning Bitcoin.
Okay, perfect. I will translate some of these ideas. Le preguntábamos a Jack cómo es que termina desarrollando Thunder y cómo es que está relacionado con Bitcoin. Nos dice que originalmente no había tanta relación con Bitcoin porque no era tan sencillo, y esto ya lo había dicho antes, no era tan sencillo poder combinar quizás la infraestructura de un juego con la posibilidad de utilizar pagos en Bitcoin. Inclusive en las primeras etapas de Lightning no era tan sencillo, pero cuando comienza la implementación de THNDR URL, que es una forma de crear una especie de recibo cobrable sin que tengas que copiar tú el invoice, sin que tú tengas que escanear el QR directamente, sino que puede abrirse directamente en un monedero, hace mucho más fácil el paso del juego a cobrar las recompensas para el usuario. Entonces es por eso que allí comienza a hacerle mucho más clic, y cuando se da cuenta de que realmente es útil y puede ayudar a añadir más elementos al juego, a pesar de que es un juego sencillo, en el caso de Bitcoin Bounce, decide hacerlo, y ahí hay una combinación ganadora, pudiésemos llamarlo hasta algún punto, porque bueno, puedes sencillamente ganar los sats que has ido ganando jugando, y de inmediato, a través de prácticamente un switch que se hace automático, pasar a tu monedero esos satoshis que has ganado. Entonces allí como que le añade una ventaja competitiva, una posibilidad nueva competitiva a los juegos. Ya que sabemos entonces cómo está conectado, vamos a preguntar sobre Bitcoin Bounce, que bueno, es el juego como tal estrella, diría yo, del estudio. Jack, tell us a little about Bitcoin Bounce. The game is really simple, but it is a kind of addictive. But how it works with the Lightning implementation? Maybe you can tell us a little of the back of the game, because as players we may know how it works, but from your side, how did you get to put Lightning to work into it, the implementation that you are using, and that stuff?
Okay, so I've got a BTC Pay server because they have a really good one-click install. So you can just set up a BTC Pay server on a Luna node, which is a company that runs your server for you. So once you set that up, I've got on there an LND node, which just comes pre-packaged as part of BTC Pay server. So to make sure I can pay the players, I transferred some Bitcoin to that Lightning node and created some channels with the popular wallets, Lightning wallets, because the game is on a phone. It means I can make channels to the most popular Lightning wallets and almost pay no fees, because the payments can just go direct to the wallet creators. Then, so to get it working in the game, it's quite simple really, because you just need to use the LNURL protocol, which is a couple of steps with a server that runs your game, which basically just you create a special kind of like a voucher. An LNURL is like a voucher, and it's like this encrypted voucher, and you send it to a wallet, and the wallet can decrypt the voucher, and once it's been decrypted, it has all the information about how to process the payment. So it knows the server where that is gonna, from the game, that's gonna process the payment. So that's how it basically works behind the scene. It's just a simple node with a Lightning node and the REST API on the LND Lightning node that connects to a game server, which implements LNURL to send these vouchers to gamers, people's wallets. So in Bitcoin Bounce, when you click the claim button, what's happening is it goes to my game server, requests one of these vouchers, and then the voucher is given direct transferred to the wallet. So that's why the wallet opens straight away. And then the wallet decrypts it and asks my server, sends my server the invoice, and the server checks the invoice is correct and then pays the invoice. So it can all happen behind the scenes.
Okay, I will translate a little of this. Le preguntábamos cómo funciona por la parte de atrás. Entonces, obviamente, como ya nos había señalado antes, aprovecha el NURL, que es esa estructura de captchas que habíamos señalado antes que pueden aprovechar y pueden utilizar los desarrolladores para evitar el paso de que el usuario tenga que necesariamente escanear por sí mismo el QR o copiar y pegar el string del QR. Entonces allí se simplifica de manera muy amigable del lado del desarrollo. Lo que hace es que del lado de los servidores del laboratorio de juegos Thunder, se guarda una especie de base de datos, no sé si es lo más correcto llamarlo así, pero información con la que, con el secreto que otorga esta forma de crear los invoices, se libera de manera automática el pago a los monederos. Entonces funciona principalmente gracias a esa implementación, que bueno, lo que ha hecho es mejorar las posibilidades que tiene Lightning Network y bueno, permitir las implementaciones de este caso. Tenemos una pregunta acá en los comentarios. We have a question here in the live comments that is asking if Bitcoin Bounce is developed in Unity.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That is a language.
Yeah, it's developed in Unity.
I'm here.
Oh, here it is. Did you get my answer?
No, I didn't.
Yes, developed in Unity.
Ok, y está desarrollado en Unity, así que sí, esa es la respuesta para José. Y bueno, podemos entonces continuar. Ya, déjame cerrar esta ventana acá porque no sé por qué está esa ventana todavía cargando. Pero bueno, vamos a dejarla allí igual. Ok. How many downloads and players and stats can you share with us about the use of the game?
Yeah, if you go to under .games/stats, I actually publish some information on there, which I've just grabbed to the website. I'll read it out. So there's been about nearly 35,000 downloads, and I think there's about 3,500 players every day. And we've nearly done 100,000 Lightning Network transactions. There's currently at 94,671. And there's only been about, for all of those transactions, the average fee for the transaction is only 0.62 sats as well. So those are the statistics I have to hand.
Ok, perfecto. Le preguntamos un poco por los números que hay sobre el juego ahora mismo y nos dice que alrededor de 35.000 jugadores, unas 3.100 partidas al día, que han generado hasta el momento de hoy casi 100.000 transacciones. Y estas casi 100.000 transacciones se han desarrollado con un cobro de fee que no llega a los 2 satoshis por operación, lo que habla de lo económico y las posibilidades de escala que ofrece este tipo de desarrollos de segunda capa, como en el caso de Lightning Network. And about the reception of the game and the comments of the people that have played this kind of collaboration that you are making with other projects like PyBlock, that you are displaying the PyBlock logo in your game. What about this? How is the community receiving this game?
Yeah, I think the community is receiving it very well. I'm really happy with, like, the best thing so far is the help I've been given. There's a lot of people give me a lot of feedback about how to make the game better, and if there's ever any security problems or a problem with the payouts, like sometimes I've had a bug where you could pay out more than once because I introduced a bug, but people tell me straight away, so everyone's really helpful, which is really good. And yeah, the team from PyBlock, I've spoken to them a few times on Telegram, and they helped me install it on my node, because I'm not particularly very good with installing software on nodes, and so they sort of walked me through it. So I wanted to repay the favor and help, like, just promote their Twitter page a little bit and let more people know about the MyNode project, because it's pretty cool. And yeah, I want to do more things like that and promote other Bitcoin projects. So any projects mainly that don't have any funding or are kind of almost like a hobby project, but that someone's trying to make a business out of it, I'm going to promote those in the game as well, because people need to find out about all of the other cool stuff that's happening. So, and I think it's only going to help the Lightning usage grow, which will mean that more people will understand how to use Lightning and therefore be more interested in the future games I make as well, because the community will get bigger and better connected.
Okay, thanks a lot for this, and I will translate a little about this. Le preguntábamos sobre la reacción de la comunidad y la relación con algunos otros proyectos, porque quienes sean jugadores del juego seguramente se han dado cuenta que hay ahora mismo el banner de la pantalla en el centro, muestra el logo de PyBlock, que es un proyecto que tuvimos acá en el canal de Satoshi en Venezuela, que creado sobre Python te permite controlar tu propio nodo de Bitcoin de manera sencilla utilizando arte ASCII. Igual si quieren saber más sobre PyBlock, pueden revisar acá en el canal y ver. Entonces nos dice que una de las cosas que más le agrada de la recepción de la comunidad ha sido el interés en ayudar a mejorar el juego y el interés en general en ayudarse per se, y el contacto que tuvo con la gente de PyBlock es que le ayudaron a poder sincronizar su propio MindNode. Nos pregunta Wilfred Parra de qué videojuego hablamos. Estamos justamente hablando de Bitcoin Bounce, que es un juego creado por THNDR Games, que es por lo que estamos entrevistando hoy a Jack. Además de eso, nos decía que la ayuda o ese tipo de colaboración siempre está disponible para proyectos y equipos que estén desarrollando algún elemento que pueda ser útil para otros usuarios, como en el caso de esta forma de operar tu nodo, que no tengan financiamiento o que no tengan suficiente exposición porque considera que esto puede ayudar a que haya más uso y más interés sobre Lightning Network en general. Entonces ahora le voy a preguntar un poco sobre lo que opina sobre Lightning y lo que posibilita para Bitcoin en relación con los juegos. After all this about the games and the experience building a game with a Lightning Network implementation and a native way of use it as a currency, as a price. What are your thoughts on Lightning Network? What it possibilities? What it open to the builders to do? Because we are talking about games, but I don't know if you already saw another way of use this kind of payments, cheap and fast payments.
Yeah. So I've tried there's some messaging apps that are quite interesting. So the Sphinx app, and there's one called Juggernaut, which looks like an interesting use case, and they enable you to have a chat app which can accept payments in it. Basically, you can send each other messages and charge each other to look at pictures and things, which is potentially quite could lead to some good use cases. The games is the main one that I've been focusing on, but there are other types of things, like anything on the internet where you consume media. So like video, watching videos, people are working on stuff where you can only pay for what you watch. So as you stream the video, you stream Satoshis the other way, and you basically you pay as you play. So yeah, I mean, there's not, at the end of the day, the Lightning Network and Bitcoin is just money. So I don't think it's going to change too drastically, except it unlocks a different features in different industries. So for example, in games, it unlocks the ability to give anonymous people tiny prize money, where you couldn't really do that before. And you can give it to them instantly, but it hasn't really changed the fundamental idea of giving someone cash prizes in a game. It's just that's an old concept. So yeah, I think it mainly will change things in a way, just iteratively improve things. I like the idea of I like the idea of voting with your sats. So there are websites where you can vote on your favorite photos or things. Instead of liking and disliking stuff, you vote with the sats, which is quite interesting, a different way to do it, because it sort of gets rid of spam a little bit, because people have to pay for their opinion to be heard. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know of any other interesting ones.
Ok, perfecto. Le preguntamos a Jack sobre qué le parece después de haber creado este juego, qué opina sobre Lightning, si hay algunas otras cosas que les interese, que crea que pueda desarrollarse sobre esta segunda capa de Bitcoin, y lo que nos dice es que hay muchas cosas que le interesan, principalmente porque lo que posibilita Lightning Network es el pago instantáneo el intercambio instantáneo de valor. Y además con un tipo de dinero, y bueno, con la robustez que tiene Bitcoin es mucho más interesante. Y en este caso nos habla sobre las aplicaciones de mensajería, además haciendo especial énfasis en el intercambio de data en el Internet, donde sea que haya intercambio de data entre usuarios, de bienes digitales hechos data, puede haber la intervención de el intercambio de valor, y en ese caso los streams, las redes sociales. Inclusive menciona un elemento interesante que podría ser que la opinión de personas que utilizan redes sociales esté regulada por la necesidad de gastar satoshis para poder publicar y emitir esa opinión. Entonces sería un elemento interesante para añadirle quizás un nivel extra de confort a la experiencia en redes sociales. Y también comentaba sobre la posibilidad de votar con los satoshis, es decir, procesos de gobernanza o votaciones en donde se utilicen los satoshis como medida para realizar, como medio para realizar esas votaciones. Tenemos acá en los comentarios una pregunta que la voy a añadir de una vez. In the live comments, we have a question about the future of the company, of the project, and if you plan to create another game with Lightning Network.
Yep, I've got working on one at the moment. I'd say it's probably about 90% complete. We're just trying, 90% ready for the beta version. Should be hopefully ready in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're just now putting the Bitcoin side of things in it. So the game's kind of done. We're just integrating the Bitcoin in. So pretty much by the end of next week, we're going to have the alpha version ready. And it's a game where you have a lane changing game, which is a driving game where you have a car on a motorway and you have to change lanes and avoid obstacles. And the aim of the game is to drive as fast as you can. So the car gets faster and faster and faster. So it's a similar kind of hyper casual game and concept like Bitcoin Bounce. It's something that it's easy to play, and you just got to master one skill, which is changing lanes. And I think it's quite fun. So hopefully people will like it. But if they don't, they can keep playing Bitcoin Bounce.
Okay, thanks. Preguntábamos añadíamos una pregunta que tenemos en los comentarios acá en vivo sobre si planean añadir o crear un nuevo juego que tenga Lightning Network, y nos dice que sí, que de hecho ya está 90% avanzado para tener una versión beta, que ya la próxima semana ellos probablemente dentro de la empresa van a tener la versión alfa, pero que podemos esperar de aquí a unas 3 semanas, un mes, el lanzamiento de la versión beta de este nuevo juego. No nos dice el nombre, pero nos cuenta un poco de qué va la experiencia. Quizás con el mismo principio de Bitcoin Bounce, en donde a medida que vas avanzando se hace más rápido y más difícil mantenerte en esas plataformas. La idea de este juego de manejo de automóviles es ir evadiendo obstáculos, y a medida que vas avanzando en el juego se va a hacer más complicado que puedas mantenerte dentro del juego y que puedas seguir ganando. Entonces dice que para él es entretenido, que se escucha como una idea agradable, y bueno, que igual va a seguir estando Bitcoin Bounce para los que quieran seguir jugando y bueno, además también experimentar con este nuevo juego. Ya casi estamos cerrando. Si alguno tiene algún comentario de los que nos está viendo, tiene algún comentario, podemos añadirlo. Yo igual hacer la pregunta de rigor sobre los planes a futuro. Perfecto, Always, pregúntanos. I will. We are almost closing, Jack, and thanks a lot for your time, for being here. About the future, not your plans, but the world around us. Because yeah, we have Bitcoin and all this, and we can connect to talk about it. But the world is still there and is around. So what are your thoughts on the I don't know, like the next 10 years? Do you think that we have Bitcoin, that or the corporations take it away, or the institutional money makes sats really expensive? What are your thoughts on the future, Jack?
Yeah, I think the future holds, well, so I think, yeah, in 10 years, there's going to be a lot of big companies being custodians of a lot of Bitcoin. So over the next 10 years, because they'll just act like normal banks, you know, where they monetize your money for you and then they keep all the profit. So I think we'll just end up making the same mistakes that society always does. So if people adopt Bitcoin, it will just end up in places like Coinbase and a few big corporations, and you'll still have access to it, obviously, but it'll just could end up being like a bank. I hope that doesn't happen, and more people learn how to use a node in their own house. So that's one version of the world, is everything gets centralized. Even though it's a decentralized currency, it gets centralized. But then the other version of the world, which is what I hope will happen, is everyone ends up with a tiny computer in their house, like my node, and it has different apps on it. It has your social media app, it has your Bitcoin bank on it, it has your instant text messaging app, and it has your email, you know, all these different services, and you host it yourself. So then the world can have all these decentralized products and services, because everyone can have a tiny cheap computer in their house that is almost like your Wi-Fi or router, like it could be combined with that, and then everyone can be part of these decentralized networks that can happen. So I hope the second thing happens. So in 10 years, everyone has a little tiny computer which has your Bitcoin bank on it and decentralized apps and different networks, so that they can't all be shut down, because they're not all like some big corporation running the network, or some big corporation blocking people from their social media platform. So that's what I really hope happens.
Ok, great. Al principio nos dice que cree que de aquí a unos 10 años va a haber empresas que puede hacer que comiencen a estar muy fuertes en cuanto a la custodia, que aumente la custodia como en el sistema bancario fiat, que en Bitcoin pudiese pasar algo así también, que es una posibilidad, es un futuro que no quisiera ver. Pero entonces nos dice el lado quizás más optimista de esa visión hacia el futuro, que sería que cada persona estuviese corriendo un nodo en su casa, que ese nodo no solamente va a ser tu banco, sino que además va a permitirte correr aplicaciones, tener acceso a redes sociales y otra serie de elementos que, bueno, pueden ayudar a ampliar la descentralización. Jack, where we can find you on social media, where we can saw Bitcoin Bounce releases or Thunder releases, let us know where to find you guys.
Yeah, so any new games and tournaments that we host will be announced on thunder.games, the website. And then, yeah, you can follow us on Twitter, which is just Thunder Games. THNDR Games, or you can follow me, Jack Everitt, on Twitter, because I just retweet everything that Thunder Games does. Yeah.
Okay, great. So thanks a lot for being here with us. Was a really great conversation about Bitcoin games, and also how Lightning could make us improve the network, the scalability, but also open new ways to use Bitcoin as a native currency in this kind of projects. So thanks a lot for your time. And we are going to have a really great guest as Jack, as all the people that visited Satoshi in Venezuela. And it will be on Monday. Will be with Rodolfo Novak. Así que, bueno, el lunes vamos a estar con Rodolfo Nova, que como saben es el creador de Coldcard, un monedero frío bastante popular entre bitcoiners, y bueno, estaremos hablando con él este lunes a partir de las 10 de la mañana, así que bueno, no se lo pierdan. Así que muchas gracias a todos los que se conectaron con nosotros y muchas gracias también a Jack.